Hello everyone, I'm Carthu and welcome back to the dojo. Today we're going to be discussing the Kakarot scene at the end of Dragon Ball Super Broly. If you don't know what I'm talking about just from that, click off this video. You probably don't want spoilers. Not too major of one if you don't think about it too hard, but it is a spoiler nonetheless, so if you are trying to avoid everything, please click off the video. Alright, you got plenty of warning, let's move on. So, at the end of the Broly movie, we have a scene where Goku actually goes to visit Broly, Chilai, and Lemo on the planet Vampa. He brings them food in the form of capsules, as well as a house in the form of, again, a capsule. While this may seem like a gesture of good faith and trying to build comrades out of enemies, it's actually more so Goku trying to have leverage over Broly so that way he could come and fight him whenever he wants. He wants to be able to spar this person and to also train him a little bit. Both of those factors, though, help Goku in his quest to grow stronger, so it's actually more of a selfish action if you take the second to think about it, outside of the context of, oh, he's doing a good thing. This is the way Toriyama likes to describe Goku in interviews, doing heroic things for selfish reasons, so it's not surprising that a screenplay by Toriyama would in fact have a Goku acting this way. After Chilai questions Goku a bit and determines, okay, maybe we can trust you, she asks one question: what's your name? And he says Son Goku, but then tells Broly, you can call me Kakarot. And thus the topic of this video comes to play. Goku has never called himself Kakarot, not once in the series. The only person to really call him Kakarot are other Saiyans. Even Frieza doesn't call him Kakarot, he calls him Goku. So, we have Goku saying a name that he has not only ignored, but denied. So what does that actually mean in the grand scheme of things? First and foremost, we'll work our way through the history of Goku's denial of his Saiyan heritage. This, of course, all starts with Raddatz. Raddatz is the first person ever in the series to call Goku by his Saiyan name and to inform Goku of his Saiyan heritage. But more importantly than that is Goku's immediate denial of his Saiyan heritage. He instantly finds out what his people are famous for doing, conquering worlds and selling them to the highest bidder, and he instantly denies that tradition. He wants to move on with his own existence as an Earthling, and he actually says, I'm Son Goku, now get the heck off my planet. He vehemently denies his heritage, his race, his history, the history of the entire race, actually reinforcing the idea that he should reject it, since it is so against his current ideologies. But in the background, something has been happening, especially when we get to Vegeta. See, when Goku sees Vegeta, he doesn't get scared. He doesn't get frightened by the immense power that he's facing. He actually starts to get a bit excited. The Saiyan warrior blood starts boiling in him, in the background. It happens twice against Vegeta, and right before he leaves for Namek, he starts to get a little excited too at the prospect of people stronger than Vegeta. He wants to test himself. He wants to be a warrior. Not the malicious, planet-selling, murderous warriors of the past. He wants to be a new kind of Saiyan warrior, one that fights to get stronger, not one that fights for profit and killing. He wants to push the boundaries of what it means to be a Saiyan at this point without really realizing he's doing that. And this is even further elaborated on within the Frieza saga itself. You see, when Goku finally does become the legendary Super Saiyan, he doesn't call himself Kakarot then either. Despite this power being directly related to his heritage, he still says, I am the Super Saiyan, Son Goku. But he acknowledges at the very least that he's a Saiyan from Earth, and he understands that his heritage is what has taken him this far, that his race is what has taken him this far. His genetics are what are pushing his limits at this point and allowing him to even conquer Frieza, at that point the strongest being in the known universe. But this does not in fact change him. Though the form is supposed to make a warrior beyond all compare, full of rage and pure power and vengeance in its heart, he actually still offers Frieza a chance. He tells Frieza to leave, to change his ways, to learn from this. To move on from this planet that he has destroyed in pieces himself and the aftermath, and learn from this situation. But then Frieza betrays Goku, and the look on Goku's face when he has to finish him off. The look of regret. The look that he didn't have to end it this way. But he understands that Frieza was a threat. That look is not of the legendary warrior full of rage. That is the look of an Earthling. That is the look of someone more human than Saiyan. But then, as time goes on, the Saiyan stuff becomes a little secondary. Sure, in the Cell Saga and Buu Saga, we do get more evolutions of Saiyan forms and Saiyan strengths, but the idea of being a Saiyan is not something that's touched upon as much. That's where Dragon Ball Super actually comes into play. You see, Dragon Ball Super has actually been subverting our expectations of what it means to be a Saiyan since the very beginning, though we didn't really know it. The Super Saiyan God ritual is something that was a bit of a mystery to us until the Toriyama interview, which really explained a lot about how Super Saiyan works and how Super Saiyan God works. Super Saiyan God is actually something that is founded off the original Super Saiyan, the spirit of Yamoshi. Yamoshi was not a Super Saiyan God. I want to emphasize that. He was a Super Saiyan. The first Super Saiyan God was Goku, because Yamoshi's spirit, after dying alongside his comrades, despite him being the Super Saiyan, actually wandered the universe, searching for 6 righteous Saiyans, 5 pouring their power into 1, and these righteous Saiyans would create the Super Saiyan God. The thing is, even Yamoshi himself was a righteous Saiyan. Yamoshi and his comrades, actually. So Saiyans have not always been the barbaric race that we know of them as, and this is the beginning of our subversion. Now, Yamoshi is not the only point to hit on. We also have Paragas and Bardock. Despite both of them being warriors and most likely conquerors of many planets, it is unlike Saiyan men, according to Gine in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, to care about their children. So why do Bardock and Paragas actually care about their children, despite themselves being Saiyans? Well, this is a subversion of what we thought about the race. All we know about the race is what children grew up to know about it. The warrior Nappa, hot-headed and brutish. Vegeta, what he learned from that brutish Nappa, and whatever he could remember, and the same goes for Raddatz. They were both too young to really experience the culture, rather they were just passively told it, and experiencing it through the experiences of others. But that's not the end of the subversions of Saiyan culture in the Broly movie. The biggest one of all, by far, is the man himself, Broly. Despite him being a hulking monster for most of the movie, one that's just unparalleled in strength and growth, and completely is dominating the powers of Goku and Vegeta, even combined. Not fused, just at the same time. So you wouldn't expect this monster of a Saiyan, this monster of a being with potential unrivaled to any that we've seen so far, to say that he doesn't like to fight, and that he doesn't want to. He's not interested. But he does what his dad says, because that's his dad. He hits Vegeta first, because that's the one his dad was yelling at. That's the one who was talking back to his father. That's the one that was making him angry. But he didn't want to fight. He just wanted to protect his father. That's why the scene where Paragas dies, at the hands of Frieza no less, an ally to Broly at that point, for the sake of Broly getting a power-up, is so damn heartbreaking. Because the look on Broly's face completely contrasts the comedy that's coming from Frieza pretending that Paragas died to the crossfire of the battle around them. Even Goku during the fight realizes that Broly is not evil. He's not doing this maliciously. He even tells Broly, you don't have to fight. It's okay. We don't have to do this. But Broly continues, even after a second of hesitation, a moment's thought. He continues, because he needs to do what his father told him to. Chilai can even see that Broly doesn't want to fight. Chilai understands this of Broly. After only knowing him for so long, she understands him even better than potentially Paragas did. And this is the character that truly subverts our expectations of what it means to be a Saiyan. One that doesn't like to fight. Now, I'm not saying the movie did a great job of showing this. That's probably something for a different video. But it was explicitly told to us that he doesn't exactly like fighting. And I think that's the straw that broke the camel's back. The last subversion of what it means to be a Saiyan that was required. Saiyans can choose not to fight. Saiyans can choose to be who they want to be. You can accept your race's history without supporting it, without keeping it the same, per se. And perhaps Toriyama was trying to say something a bit more subtle when it comes to, say, the Japanese and their involvement in World War II, and perhaps something about how we can grow from our past and we're not the actual descendants of our past. Perhaps I'm thinking too much into it by saying that, but I think there is something to be said narratively that the next generation shouldn't be punished for the crimes of the prior. And that's something I think is a big takeaway from this video for sure. So yes, Goku calling himself Kakarot is a big step forward for Goku, a big understanding for him that he doesn't have to accept the atrocities that the Saiyans committed to accept that he himself is in fact a Saiyan. And notice that he doesn't tell anyone else to call him Kakarot, just Broly, just the other Saiyan, just someone who shares that heritage. He hasn't fully changed his whole worldview. He's still Goku from Earth to 99% of people, but just to the other Saiyans, he's willing to be Kakarot. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching and waiting for this video. It's been a little bit hectic trying to actually get around to making it. I had people over last night too, so I could not record this when I wanted to. And yeah, here we are. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscription and notification bell if you want to stay up to date on the channel. Make sure you leave a comment with your opinions and counterpoints about this video, and check out the Patreon and the t-shirt if you really want to support me in a different way. That being said, guys, video outro.